Going great, Ratchet. Congrats. You are number one again. How are you doing? Ah, that's good to hear. Good to hear. Hopefully everything's going well with you and yours. It's almost time. Yeah, don't we all? I fail at a lot of things. Life's full of failures. That's part of life, is failing, getting up, doing it again. Never giving up, never surrendering. Let's go, it says. Let's go. Alright, Ratchet is our first streamer. And let's see if it'll wake up. I love it. Love it. There we go. So, Ratchet's our first streamer. I see my new backdrop. It's actually a blanket my wife bought for me for my birthday. So I'm pretty pumped about that. Yeah. Got me a new backdrop, but basically, it was a birthday gift. And it's a blanket, so in the cold weather, I can put that on and feel warm. Thanks. Alright, so tonight we are back to working on this concept and trying to decide, trying to make sure we understand maybe where people fall. And I'm curious if we can do a little analysis on a game and see if we can pick where those people fall and thereby determine where we think maybe those ratings belong. That's a nice reminder. I see the Nightbot came on. I did not change my Nightbot yet. So let me change my timer. It's still going to be telling you Wednesday's news, which is wrong. We're on Friday. And it's not a lazy day. And I will be playing viewers. So, okay, we'll leave it at that. Alright. So, I do want to go over, again, this product that we're working on. And see if we can place people onto these based on... we're going to find out what their rating is and then place them in here is my idea, and then see if it makes sense, right? If it falls out. So that's my thought process. And the idea is to do it by reviewing a game. So let's see if we can do that. So this is a game between Jim and Irv. All right, LLNP and Ilcier. And Ilcier is our good friend Sudakus. Let me just do a normal shout out for him, because his tournament is over for the moment, right? I mean, he has another one on Wednesday, but that's far away. So I like to brag about his tournament when it gets close to Wednesday. Okay, well, Ratchet, you might as well now that you've said that, I'm going to pause my thoughts, and you can tell me what is one of your main problems. I'll wait for it. Alright, meantime, I want to go over this game. And during the game, I'd like you to help me. Pick out maybe some of those things that we were talking about and see where they lay, okay? Oh, Ratchet, you know your openings pretty well, my friend. It's one of those nice things when you're youthful. I keep telling you guys that. And I can't even say that more now because I just had a birthday. So when you're youthful, you can remember things better and you can memorize moves. And yes, you can memorize the first 5, 6, 7, 10 moves of an opening. So you definitely, because you're playing openings that you've studied, you've looked up, you know traps and tricks and tips for the opening, Ratchet, I totally understand. And would expect that you would have no problem in the first 5+ moves. Yes. Very good. Very good. So that's that. Hey, Booty, how's it going? Should call you Bandit. But yeah, especially Bandit because it kind of fits my pirate theme. You know, take what you can, give nothing back. Life is good. So, Ratchet, you are bringing up the exact thing that I tell people all the time and why I believe some people jump in, like your rating gets really high because, like you said, you know those first 5 to 10 moves. I'm going to even give you credit for 10 moves, 5 to 10 moves. And therefore, because you know those 5 or 10 moves, if the people play into the opening lines, bam. And as we saw, that famous blindfold game where you beat Sudakus using a trap against the Caro-Kann, you won that game not even looking at the board. All right. So, but if they play things that you don't know, or they play what we call hyper-modern, kind of like Magician plays, right? Where it's not a set opening. You have to then still follow all the principles and understand all the concepts, and that's where it can be misleading. When we look at our list of concepts and principles, when we look at this list of concepts and principles, we can be very easily fooled into thinking someone, not you per se, but someone is stronger than they are because maybe they're really good at tactics. But they might not understand king safety or development or other things, but they're really good at tactics. Here's an example. Someone brings their queen out early and wins the game. Somebody plays the fried liver attack, and they do really well because they understand the tactics, but they don't understand what to do if the person maybe declines the gambit or declines their offering, and therefore they have to play a standard game. And where we really see this come into play is endgames. Right, I showed you guys that 1,800 rated players, that's what we're playing up to in our qualifier and for the World Championship, under 1,800. 1,800s don't know basic endgames. And my daughter, who was well below 1,800, beat an 1,800 in a tournament in the endgame. And she made 2 or 3 mistakes, but she still knew it better than him. So that's the other part, right? Even when you study openings, you can play or study a less than perfect opening, right? You've seen Hikaru Nakamura and Gotham Chess, and they do these things where they go through all the openings and they rate them, and some are garbage and some are excellent, right? And they talk about them. But the bottom line is, one, if you know the opening better than your opponent, you're going to have an edge. And 2, if you're better at chess, you can overcome a bad opening if your opponent is not as good as you. Hey, King, how's it going? So, we want to go through, and although, and you said it yourself, Ratchet, that you felt like you understood all of these principles and concepts, but I didn't hear yet that you apply them all regularly. I know you said that you apply them based on the situation. Hey there, how are you doing? No, it does happen in high levels to a degree. But we're not working with high levels. We're working mostly with 2,000 and below. But here's an example where it does happen in high levels. When you have, like the world champion, right? The best player in the world playing against an international master, and he plays the Bong Cloud or something silly like that. I've also seen him in certain time frame, and mostly bullet, where he'll like move the first 8 moves or 9 moves, putting them back and forward and giving his opponent 8 free moves. Amazing. But if they understand the game better than their opponent, or the opening way better than their opponent, now, when you get up to those higher levels, right, International Master and Grand Masters, well, they understand their openings very well. So it's rare that you're going to find that they don't understand the openings, but they're going to play it very well, right? They're still going to play that opening very well. Okay. All right, so our exercise tonight is to look at the games from Tuesday, our qualifying tournament, And check it out. Hey, Ridoraki. Thank you for the follow. And Dara Mij, thank you for the follow. That was yesterday when I wasn't streaming. I took yesterday off. I usually don't do streaming on Thursdays, guys, but it was my birthday. So I took off my stream. I was going to stream on my birthday. I thought about doing a surprise stream just for my birthday, but I was enjoying the company of my brother and my daughter and my family, and I just didn't do it. All right, so let's go look at a game. Cool, King. Yeah, I do play the friend, but yeah. Hey, Brandon, how are you? Well, thank you, Brandon. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I really do. Thank you very much. All right, and you mentioned the French, King, and here's a French by transposition, probably. But again, do the players know the opening? We're not going to really worry about that at the moment. We're going to look to see what principles they're breaking. All right. So I know for a fact, Black in this game, his rating is 1566. Does not understand the principles and concepts of this opening. I know that because I worked on it with him over my birthday, my vacation. So that's down here when we say, where is the opening? Where is it? Understanding the opening study right here, right? This is opening study is a big one that people use. They rely on it. I don't think you need it for the beginning levels. That's why it's way down here. And he doesn't. He doesn't know it that well. But like you're saying, Ratchet, you know the first 5 or plus moves, but you know multiple variations, I'm sure. I expect that you know a few variations. And when they play outside of the variations, you know that's where you might get on equal ground and might have trouble and might make mistakes. So it doesn't look like the French? Oh, it is though, King. It is. And this is what tells you it's the French. Now, White isn't playing the full version of it, and that's okay. It's okay. And that's okay if you don't enjoy it. We're not looking at that right now. We are looking at where do these two players fall on our spectrum. So we're trying to see, we're looking for principles and concepts they may not play to properly or pay attention to. All right, so we saw the knight move twice. So that's usually a teller that they don't understand, that they need to develop, but perhaps he did it to free the bishop. In which case we could say, yay, he is doing it to develop. Now, should it be here or here? It's a different question. That would be better positioning of the pieces. All right, and this isn't my game, King. All right, oh, you're talking to Ratchet. All right, so this move sets up this move, which gets us back to transposing to the French. But it does take away the best square for the knight, but it's okay, the knight might come here. But let's see what happens. Finally, we get a bishop out so that we can maybe castle and get the king safety. And we take with the queen. Okay, so if we look at it at this stage, Black is ready to castle. White has made a lot of pawn moves, to get to the basic French position that he could have been in much quicker. Okay, let's see what happens in this game. We get a trade, we get a castle, and we get full development. And this is where you would assume, you know what, these guys do understand development. Hey, good morning, Jams. How's that life going for you? Wow, look at the nice crowd today. It's like, you guys are like part of my family now, right? I mean, I had my birthday yesterday. So I would have invited you guys for a piece of brownie. We had brownies instead of cake. But, you know, I don't know where some of you guys are overseas. You know, that's not going to happen. But anyway, I was going to do it online. But I didn't. So, bold up here and blue. Well, bold, not blue. These I just felt confident that they were in the correct order. So, I don't need to make them blue anymore. I need to change their color because it's going to confuse me if it doesn't confuse you guys. Now, bold were critical things to get from one level to the next. So I feel comfortable that both of these gentlemen that we're analyzing their game understands the rules, understands free candy, and applies. Understands and applies. Excellent, Jams. I take it that's on chess.com. Yeah, because the rating's higher on Licha, so I always guess when I see low ratings like that you mean chess.com. Yeah, there you go. Piece values, I don't think they're overly critical to getting to the next level, but of course they're important. But developing, and understanding basic checkmates and king safety. And this is where we're thinking around 1675. And so these two opponents right now are 1566, 1756. Nice average right down around 1675. So let's see how it goes. So far it seems like they understand development. Now this is a very interesting move to make at this time. Why? Because you could trade and have a pawn here. It wouldn't be bad. This one is a weak pawn. It's a backward pawn. And this is where I say, okay, they don't understand, maybe they don't understand hitting on the weak pawn complex, because this pawn should be a target. Right? I feel like this pawn really should be a target, but not a rush, but it's a target. We do have one piece attacking it. We have one piece protecting it. And they could get 3 pieces protecting it quite quickly. So, okay, let's see what happens. We get the trade that we talked about. And we take with the pawn versus with the rook. So the question is, would it be better to have in this instance where we have only one rook with this potential pass pawn, right? We have a 3 versus 2 now because we step by this pawn. By the way, this becomes an outstanding outpost, right? So we take with the pawn. Again, understanding of the concepts, I want to put a knight here. And look, the queen is in my way. It would have been nice if black had taken back with the knight a long time ago. How about that? So when we look back to here, right? Ooh, way over here. Boom, 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 boom. If he had taken back with the knight, then he could be eyeing this. Look, 2 pieces hitting this. And is this a strong point? I think it's going to be. I think with this move, we've declared that we're going to allow the trade of pawns. And then we'll see, because this might become a strong point. And now I've got 2 pieces over attacking or protecting that strong point. So, possibilities. Okay, but let's get back to the game. So we get the trade, and we get the chase. Now, look, the knight has to go weird places. And why here? Why here? So if we go here, we attack the pawn, and then we can break through in the middle, but then we get all of this nastiness. Okay. Again, it would have been great if the knight could just step here, because this is where the knight wants to be so badly. All right, but we get an offer of a trade of knights, and we reposition, and now we're looking at a new square. Again, this is the square we want to be in, though. Let's see if we can get the knight there. Now we have a double attack on the pawn. We got to protect it. And look at this. Now he's making inroads into the weak squares for black. So far it looks like both players understand the concept, but black needs to get his knight in here. So let's see what happens. Don't get it, guys. So I don't believe black understands positional concepts as well, because we're not blockading this pawn. We're not repositioning our knight into the center of the board in a beautiful square, by the way. I don't even care about this knight being here. It really doesn't have much to threaten. So this knight has to come here early. First of all, we attack this pawn. We have this beautiful square to occupy. With this attack on the pawn, we have other options with the queen. This just feels too natural, right? Too natural. All right. So I really would like to see this, but it's not happening yet. So that's a positional thing I think we're missing. And now we have alignment. We have a bad alignment, and we've just weakened our pawns in front of our king for no reason that I actually understand. I don't understand this weakening of the position. I'm sorry. Don't understand that move. So both of them don't understand things like you could just push this pawn. And if he takes, you take back with check. Still have weak pawns, much weaker pawns than before. If you don't take and you push, I don't know. I think you just keep pushing the pawn because it's a passed pawn at that time. Okay? There's things here to worry about. So let's agree that these guys on our scale definitely don't have understanding of pawn structures. They're not taking advantage of pawn structures. They're not taking advantage of alignment. They allowed alignment to happen against them. And by the way, pawn structures might belong after alignment. I don't know. I'm thinking probably they do. I would think probably this one needs to move here and alignment needs to move up. I think so. Anyway, but I think they don't have an understanding of those, and they definitely don't have positional play, right, and overprotection, which I think are later factors anyway. So what we're still looking for, we agreed that they definitely showed everything up to here. I don't know that they know how to respond to an attack properly. I don't know that they look for checks, captures, and attacks and threats. I don't know if they know basic endgames, although I'm going to assume they do. But undefended pieces and good and bad pieces, I'd say no. Basic tactics, maybe. And this is where we get back to basic tactics. I think people might learn basic tactics before good and bad pieces, and maybe even undefended pieces, although basic tactics take advantage of undefended pieces. And this would be down here. Okay. All right, guys. So we're still trying to pick where this game fits into our scale. All right. Oh, okay. So what are we talking about? You asked a question here. Rook. What now? Whoa. Where are you at? Where are you at? Yeah, knight to d6 would be, or d6 would have been nice back then instead of now where it is. Yes. 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 But we traded off the pawns. After d5, nah. And by the way, white didn't need to take. White could have let black take if he posted his knight. Would have been a nice move. And then let him take back with the pawn and keep that pawn there for as long as you can. A lot of nice stuff like that. Okay. So I don't understand what you mean. Rook to c d8. It's already c to d8. Yes. Right. Because you don't need the rook anymore because the pawn does a much better job of protecting. So the question is which rook, right? We have that conversation a lot of times. Which rook? So I don't have a problem with putting a rook on d8. The question is, should it be this rook or should it be this rook? And it usually has to do with which one will have more scope afterwards. But anyway, all right. So let's just skip along and see if one of them knows the end game better. And if we can get any other inklings. Look, the knight finally got there, but look at that rook. It's trapped. Trapped to the point that you have to trade it. And, okay, I don't believe either one plays the endgame very well, as I can see as of yet. Alright, so we're going to say nope. Alright, and somehow black ended up winning that game. Sorry, I skipped way ahead way too fast. Alright, but we get some trades and some missed opportunities. And this part is good. So basic endgame, right? I see basic endgame. I definitely don't say intermediate endgame. So we might have to add one because we have basic endgames, which I think they kind of got. I think they do. They're down here at 1675. I know 1800s don't know basic endgames, and these guys aren't even 1800s yet. But as you saw, I think they only understood the very basic endgames. But I'm tempted, besides having advanced endgames in here, I'm very tempted to have like medium level endgames. Hey, G Dot, how are you? And it's probably a mistake, King. How are you? Thank you again for the birthday gift, G Dot. I really appreciate it. G Dot was very generous. Gave five, I believe, 5 gift subscriptions to viewers for my birthday. Awesome. Thank you, G Dot. It was yesterday, so I feel compelled to say thank you again. So I did get some other gifts. I got this one from my man Sudaku's Chess. Check that out. I got this one from Sudaku's Chess. Pretty cool. And I got this. I feel like Vanna White. It's not only a backdrop, it's a blanket. Fuzzy, nice, keep me warm blanket. And I thought I'd try it as a backdrop. My wife gave that to me as a total surprise. I loved it. Loved it. Rook to f7, and then he played rook to f3. Yeah, the rook to f3 trapping the rook was interesting. But it was probably not good. But anyway, let's move on. So that was Jim and LLMP, and I think we're placing them. Remember, you might know some other things, right? So they might get basic endgames. I think I wouldn't even say they fully applied basic endgame techniques. So, I mean, it's feeling like they're over here. But they did respond okay to most attacks. But they definitely didn't understand things like good and bad pieces, undefended pieces, alignment of pawn structures. So they might have been here, actually, right? I mean, I had LLMP, you notice right here, I wrote his name. So I think there is fair. I think there is fair. And I'd say Jim was right there with him. So if that's true, they're pretty close. Maybe they're both here. And maybe we need something that says something about like intermediate endgames. What do you guys think? I think we might need, because endgames are just so important. So important. And we could probably even say the same thing for openings. But right now I'm going to make it intermediate endgames. And let's steal this format and put it there. Okay. So I think intermediate endgames goes there. I'm thinking, and they definitely don't have that. But yeah, I'm thinking they're like, I think they're 1675 bumping up to 1800. And why do I say that? Because I've seen 1800s that don't know basic endgames. So I don't think it's a delimiter to say that you're over 1800 because you know basic endgames. Yes, endgames are hard, but you know we're talking about the basic concepts of them. All right, let's check another one. No, totally not. That would be under advanced endgames, right? The super complex endgames that people require table-based to understand, that would be the advanced endgames. Thank you. Ridaraki, that's exactly my point. I think that if we go here, we're going to say that 2000 is not going to, we can't say advanced endgames. We're going to have to say it's like intermediate endgames. So 2000 is going to be like something here. I think a 2000 might actually belong here, and an 1800 definitely doesn't belong there. Right? Yeah, 1800 is definitely more like here. So I feel like this could be 1675. This could be like 16 to 1800 right in here. But I'm wondering if 1600 and below, what differentiates the 1600 from the 1800, right? What below 1600, they're at a certain level, and we always have to take everything with a grain of salt. So that game, the 15 and change, the 15. What are we at here? The 1566 beat the 1756. So I'm putting them around 16 and change. That's one way to get better. But yeah. Oh, you want to work on time management? Wow, King. It depends on what time you're playing. So what I like to do for myself, like I was trying to get better at Bullet. I hate Bullet. As you guys know, I hate Bullet. But I play it every once in a while, especially in tournaments that I run. So I try to get better at Bullet. So how do I get better at Bullet? The slowest time I could do, it was 2+1. So that's what I run my tournaments at. So I get to play my slowest. But then I turn around and I was playing Bullet at like 1.5, 1 minute and 30 seconds, or 1 minute and 5 second increments, something faster. So you play faster so that you can then slow down and play better. Hey, Sudakus! Uh-oh, really? You can't hear me? Thank you for letting me know. Now I got to check what's going on with my mics. Let me see what we have here. Let me make sure. Thank you. Someone said something. Okay, it's on the right mic, so that's good news. It is turned on. Oh boy, I'll have to see if it's there's something up. Turn up the audio, he says. It actually is rocking as high as it says it will go. I will try it again. Oh, you hear me just fine? I'm hoping it's not me. Yeah, I got the right device. Boom. All right. I might have been moving away from my mic. Okay, good. Sudakus, you missed it. I just thanked you for my present. For my beautiful present. 5,334 problems, combinations, and games. Polgar's daddy. Thank you. And my wife's gift to me for my birthday, Sudakus. It's a blanket. I can use it as a backdrop. Yes, it was very nice. Okay, good. That's good to know. It's a Sudaku's problem. It helps me. All right, good. So, let's look at the next game. This one is again the 1700 and against a 1540. So that one was a 16. No, it was a 1556. LLMP was 1566. Magician is a 1540. So they're both in the mid 1500s. And by the way, when they play each other, it's almost always a draw. They're very equal. So I would say this is two people, mid 1500s, legit how they play. So let's especially look at black and see if we can ascertain where black is weak at in the concepts we're talking about, or where the break point is. Where's the break point that we would say Magician needs this to step up to the next level, right? To get the next 100 points. All right? Openings. Openings is definitely a factor, right? But let's see what they know at 1500. I think they're not strong in openings, and Magician is not strong in openings. I know LMP is not strong in openings. And this is Jim. Jim is Sudakus' good friend. His name on Lichess is Ilcier, but we know Jim is a whole lot easier to say. So Magician is playing the opening fine, even if he doesn't know the opening. And Jim, now we see, but we see this, right? He moves twice. So what I see usually out of Magician is he's not strong at development, the concept of development and piece coordination. And if you notice that Jim just says, I'll take the piece and not lose any development. Now, this is a simple count, guys. This loses a pawn. Don't know what else to say. Don't know what else they think is going on. This loses a pawn. Yes, over and over again, Ratchet. So that would be development, right? The concept of moving a piece once and leaving it where it is, and if you move a piece twice that it's bad because of a lack of development, is to me the concept of development. But now this is a miscount. And so let's go back and look at this 1540 person. Miscount is way up here with free candy. So this early in the game, he doesn't miscount. Oh, and that's actually the 1700 guy, by the way. And this is the 1700 guy, not the 1540 guy that makes this mistake and miscounts and just loses a pawn. Flat out loses a pawn. Now, again, where should that knight have gone? This is the best square normally for the knight. Might have wanted to go here to protect here and to allow this pawn to push to get rid of the knight, but he doesn't even have to worry about it. I think it's okay. I'm not going to use that to try to decide where black belongs. But again, this is a 1540 guy. Whoa, what? Flavio, hey, how are you? And thank you for subscribing. Another birthday gift. Good evening. Buenas noches, mi amigo. Or buenas tardes, mi amigo. Y muchas gracias por the subscription. Thank you so much. Yes, Ratchet, Flavio, and he knows it. Whenever he wants a lesson, he gets a lesson. And he's subscribed for 3 months, so he can get lessons over the next 3 months. Definitely. Thank you, Flavio, and I love the graphics. And then we see, right, the turn of that he brings in the knight, maybe a little prematurely, could get chased away. But, I mean, it's not bad. Only the rook is hitting it. But we see the fact that he moves the knight again before he gets his king to safety. So I believe he's weak on development and king safety. I think he's weak on both of those places. But thank you, Flavio, and I'm glad you can make it. I know you're a busy man. And we see the knight. We see this knight. We see the problem, moving the piece over and over again. And we see weakening of the king side for no reason. And this is our 1700 rated player. So the 1500 rated player shows that he doesn't understand development, placement of pieces, tempo. Nothing to do with time, not time management, but we're talking about the value of tempi, right? He doesn't seem to understand the value of tempi. Or king safety. So no idea of king safety, and as late as he castled, I say king safety is also an issue. So now, to be fair, Jim just I believe is kind of just starting because Flavio was showing him some concepts of the game, although he's learning about as fast as you can. And Jim had to play games just to get a rating to play in our tournament, and his 1700 rating may be a little inflated. Because, you never know. The people he played to get his 20, 25 games may not have played as well as some other people could. So sometimes your rating takes, although that gets you a stable rating as far as Lee chess is concerned, it doesn't mean it's truly your stable rating. All right, Kate. Yes, you will. Yeah, you should definitely get better. Flavia, you're pretty good now. And I love teaching you, and I'm looking forward to you cashing in these lessons. All right, so let's see what happens, guys. So we get a counterattack here. Again, White also maybe not understanding some of the tactical issues. No reason to throw that in. And we should talk about what he could have thrown in instead, because take a look. That was a discovered attack on the queen. If he had gone here to do the same discovered attack, he'd have two attackers on the queen, and the queen would have to move. But by coming here, he only has one attacker on the queen. He doesn't have to move the queen. So it just depends. If you're trying to get him to move the queen, you have this as a better discovered attack. But this knight is not well placed, although he's planning on pushing this pawn possibly. And this bishop is definitely not well placed, right? But we placed it here so we can get the discovered attack. Okay, understandable. But as you see, the knight's hitting it. So that discovered attack on its own is not good enough. And you just got to decide, is this going to gain me anything? Right? If this doesn't gain me anything, then there's no real use for doing it. Knight takes f7 also does a double attack on the queen and wins a pawn. I like it, Sudakus. Thank you. Yes. So it's and uncovers this pawn that's weak. So yeah, we have a double attack on the queen. We can always take back here. We have to decide what we're going to do because we're threatening to lose the knight. So the queen moves, right? Let's find the queen move. Let's say the queen doesn't, well, let's say the queen goes here. If we go to d7, the knight just gets to come back with tempo, right? And then we could take, yeah. Okay. So d7 is possible because maybe we don't care if he comes here. We just take. I don't know, because then the bishop takes back, and the bishop is anchored, and you never have a pawn to push him away. So maybe coming here, but then again, once again, the knight can come here and be anchored. Now, black can win back the pawn, but that knight could be there forever. And so it's just a decision if that works for you or not. And this doesn't actually work because you just take, and you get two pieces for the rook and the pawn, and we know that's not good enough. So this is a playable move. I just don't know how it's going to end up, to be honest, right? I don't know what the end story is in this case. I mean, maybe you come back here because it is such a beautiful square, but, then you end up, and now we have two attackers, and we have an open king. So things might be bad. But anyway. All right, so I think both of these players, we're seeing evidence that they're not doing king safety very well. I know one of them doesn't understand development very well. So this seems to be 1600. And I think we just have to say that Jim, his rating might be inflated, and we don't know where he actually plays. I think Magician and LNP have many more games under their belt, so I like to think about them fitting in. And we said that while they know basic checkmate, so we can actually move that here. I don't know that they did king safety very well, during that game. So I'm thinking maybe here that under 1600 and below, might be there. But I'm still curious, like, what do you need to get to 1500? 1500, do they know about development? Or do they belong here? Is this less than 1500? That if you understand developing, that you would get up to 1600? And then, 1500, and then to get to 1600, you got to know basic checkmates and maybe king safety. Maybe that's more accurate. That's maybe, because we said LMP was down here. So very interesting. We still don't know for a fact. Sudokus doesn't play a lot on here. His rating of 1691 is probably not the opposite of inflated. His rating is probably lower than it should be, and he's playing against Jim, although Jim beat him in this game. Again, Magician we have here again, being again 1547 rated. Sudokus beat him, and that game might be more telling for us about where that goes. So I'm really curious about the break point between 15 and maybe 16 and 1700. What are the break points for 15, 16, and 1700? We don't have too many players that are way below these ratings, like less than 1,000 or anything. Most of our players are up higher. So I am very curious to see where people might belong based on these ratings. So like G Dot, one of my students, doesn't play a lot on Lichess, so I don't know what his rating will be on Lichess. So G Dot, you're not helping me because I went to look at your ratings and you have none because you haven't played. Oh, I remember you had that issue which they obviously never fixed, right? They never fixed. We know they had issues. It was their problem, not yours. I will be your character witness on that one. So you had to start over, and so you don't have enough games to show your rating. So 1800s and above are good at king safety, but we know they don't know endgames. So maybe 1800s are good at development, including king safety. So 1800s might belong here. Now, I gave them credit for how to respond to an attack, Gotham chess rules, and not endgames, because we know they're not good at basic endgames. So I'm thinking, that's why I put a question mark, I'm thinking these guys are up to 1800 right here. Right here. Yes, Sudokus. Thanks. I want to see, I can't wait. When do you go? When is the U.S. Open? Is it the Open or is it the Championships? What is that tournament? The one in Vegas. When is it? What are the dates? Tell us the dates. Come on, let's do some Sudokus promotion, because I'm excited to see when you play in that tournament. I tell you what, I want to see that. I want to see that tournament really badly. All right, let's go back and check out a much earlier game. This one is between Big Herb. Big Herb, he's a streamer, by the way. 14-18, and I like Big Herb. Let's give him a quick shout out. Okay, Big Herb against Direction 7. Don't know who Direction 7 is. He played in our last sessions, qualifiers, not in this round. Played in the first ever qualifier rounds, and I haven't seen him since. Also, it's the National U.S. Chess Open. Over 1,100 pre-registered players so far in Vegas, baby. And you still didn't tell us the dates. So get us the dates, because we want to. I'm going to be checking in on you. I want to live vicariously through you in this COVID 2021, watching you play in that tournament. Oh no, you won't enjoy Vegas. Why would you? Yeah, you got to tell your fiance that, right? Don't. Yeah. You're not going to enjoy Vegas. You're just there for the chess. So what are the dates, my friend? KDS. All right, Ken Diaz. All right, so this game is between a 14-18 and a 17-32. Let's see the difference between 14-18 and the 17-32. So this is an under 1,500, in fact, barely 1,400 player. Oh, you're going to miss the Blue Man show? And so the rest is like, it's over, right? Why would you enjoy the rest of it? I want to see Sudoku's games. I want him to come on stream. I want him to stream every night and share his games. And if he can't stream from there, we'll get on a Zoom call and he could read his score. Remember, they have to write it on paper. I know some of you guys may never have played in an in-person, real-life tournament, but you have to keep score, which means writing down your moves. And so Sudakus has to write down all his moves, and hopefully he'll get his opponents to sign his score sheet, and he'll sign their score sheet in case he runs into some future grandmaster that's only 8 years old right now. But boom, we should see the score sheet, and he should definitely be able to share his games. In fact, I would expect for the next month, up to when we have the In Search of Beth Harmon tournament, that he would be talking and sharing his games, talking about and sharing his games. He's going to stream from his phone every day. Good, good. And it starts on June 18th. That's this coming Friday, guys. Next Friday, I'm going to be tuning in. I'm going to be tuning in. Sudakus, you got. I know you can't do it while you play. But I would love for you to find a way to get me your games. I'd love to be analyzing your games back here. If you can find a way to get those games captured, take a picture with your phone and send it to me, and I'll figure it out. Yeah, take a picture of your score sheet, and I'd love to be analyzing your games. Yeah, take a picture. And you're learning Russian words for the tournament. Yeah, that'll fit in with Beth Harmon real well. 30 plus 5, I don't think it's that fast for over the board. I don't think so. A lot of tournaments I've played in are 45, like so many moves in 40 or 45 minutes. I forget how many moves. And then you get more time after that. I will say I've never played in an over-the-board tournament with an increment. Just saying, I've never done it. All right, so we're still trying to check out this game and figure out where 1500 fits. Oh, really? Thank you so much. Thank you. Wow. Yeah, I don't even talk about it. I am not a self-promoter, my friend, so that's really neat that you found the TED Talk. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it. All right, so again, we're looking at white is the 14, a little bit over 1400, very little. 1400. Hey, Victor! You made it. How you doing? Yeah, Victor was saying there's 3 categories of chess players, right, Victor? I'm not calling you out. And he said it's experts, candidates. Did you say? And masters, right? Experts. I thought you said candidates and masters. And masters, I know you mean like national masters, FIDE masters, international masters, and grand masters or masters. Then there's candidates for the masters, I guess. I think you said candidates. And experts. And me being me, I said, Victor, I think you're leaving out the largest category of chess player, because the majority of chess players are not even experts, right? Most of us are not experts. The majority of people that play chess, maybe I'd even say there's more people that have never played in a rated tournament than that have, because everywhere you look, people play chess, and it's awesome. It's a great game. Been played for years and years. I love movies. You know that. Most of you guys know that. We could talk movies someday. I would love to have a stream where all I do is review movies. And I love finding 2 things. Almost every movie, when they want to make a person look like they're smart, what do? They have a chess table there. They have a chessboard set up. And what's fun to watch is most of the times they have that chessboard set up wrong. But they have a chessboard to give the impression that these characters that they are depicting are smart, strategic thinkers, deep thinkers. You put a chessboard in it. That's what you do. And then the other thing I love to find out is that actors, some of the, especially the past actors, the famous ones, were chess players. They loved chess. I mean, Humphrey Bogart is the one that I know of the most. I mean, he played chess a lot. He loved chess. And he was actually supposedly pretty good. Yeah, they just add glasses to their face. Like these fake glasses. No, they're not fake. I need them. But yeah. That makes you look studious. But what happens when you don't want to add glasses, like they're, like 007, right? But you still want to make 007 appear smart. But just, you haven't put a chess table there. Chessboard in his room. It's in his house. That's what you do. All right. Oh, and thank you, Venera and Cheszeron, for participating in a foreign language that we have no idea what that is. But I'm going to guess it's Ukrainian, not just a guess. But yeah, that's what I think, Bandit. I'm sure. Hey guys, by the way, there's sound effects. If you want to check out the sound effects, they only cost you channel points. Not going to cost you any real money, so feel free to play with your sound effects whenever you want. I just want to let you know they're there. I need to make a Nightbot that says something to let you know about the sound effects. Thank you. Thanks, Sudakus. I appreciate that. All right, so, you guys are totally, getting me off target. We're trying to figure out what a 1400, where does a 1400 fall? And the 1400 in this game is white. And he's playing a 1700, so the 1700 should be well ahead. But right now, the 1400 played great, except that. That was the first bad move, the 1400. I mean, everything else was acceptable. Granted, he hasn't developed his pieces, but, Black only has 2 pieces developed, so we're equal. But you don't want to take and bring that pawn towards the center and give him another attacker, and you already traded off your center pawn. Not crazy about this move. Now, that doesn't help you, that helps your opponent. So, helping opponents, that should be one that I do not have on here. This should be one that we need on here, guys. And I'm not sure where it goes, but I'm thinking it's going to go somewhere around here. I really do think it's going to go somewhere in here. I think I need to, I think it's before, I think it's a basic, I think it might go in here. Let's try in here. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Let's just delete that cell. Okay, so this would be helping opponent improve position. Okay, so I see this a lot. Where beginners help opponents improve their position by bad trades, right? So that could be put on the bad trades. It could be put on a lot of things, but that's where I think it would be. Okay, King, and then you can use them for something really good. Yeah, there you go. Oh, Sudaku doesn't believe what, Ratchet? Uh-oh. Oh, you guys are going to have these debates about players' abilities. You make me laugh. It's okay. Everybody blunders. Everybody makes mistakes. I've watched I Am Rosen. I've watched Bartholomew. I've watched Hikaru Nakamura. Blunder pieces. So we all blunder pieces. Don't let it tax your brain too much. We do need still to figure out what 1400s don't know. So definitely 1400s don't know about helping their opponents improve their pieces. I'm betting 1400s give away free candy. Now, Big Herb played very well so far. Has not given away any free candy. Still not giving away any free candy. We are fighting for an open file. This is advanced stuff. This is good. White needs to protect his piece again, and he does. So he doesn't even give away free. He's not giving away free candy. Not giving away free candy. Okay, don't know what that move was. Have no clue what that move was about. Don't think it helps the situation any. It weakens this pawn. Doesn't help the situation. Maybe he's eyeing this. Okay, let's see. And this move, I don't know either. So this is our higher rated player making a Luft for the king, which is okay. You should make Luft for the king. Just don't know if it was the right timing. Not sure. But let's see what happens. So again, White is just trading off pieces, which is not bad at this point. Now, White could have taken and given Black an isolated pawn, but it's a pass pawn. But it would have been an isolated pawn, followed up by this, maybe blockading even with the queen. This could have been interesting, but I don't expect either one to be good at endgames, right? This doesn't This I don't get. This I don't get because you're not going to take here almost no matter what. All you have to do is make Luft first. Don't get it. And it gives away a pawn, guys. So 1400 miscount, right? We said it didn't give away a lot of free candy yet. In fact, I don't see any free candy yet, but definitely we have a miscount. We have a miscount, and therefore we see free, technically free candy, but the 1400 does even a miscount. That's interesting, Victor. So it definitely depends on where you're at. So the first question is, are you talking about chess.com? Are you talking about Lichess? Or are you talking about over the board? And if you're talking over the board, I know USCF, at least the United States Chess Federation, has experts rated at 2,000 or higher, because I'm an expert in quick chess. So I got that title, even though it's not an earned or it's not a title that you have to qualify for, and it's just rating. National Master is 2,200. And then for us, and for everyone, International Masters are not based on rating alone. It's also, you have to do, and you should know that, right? Based on how well you do in certain tournaments at certain levels, you have to get norms. And so you could be a candidate to be an International Master, you could be a candidate to be a Grandmaster. Yeah, so it depends on which system you're talking about, where those ratings even fall. Okay? All right, we're good. But still, my argument would still be whatever system you're using, let's say it's chess.com, I will bet you that the majority of players are below 1750. Okay? And when you say can play as a world champion, I'm not sure what you mean. If you mean can beat the world champion 1 out of maybe 70 times or 50 times or 30 times, anyone can win. I'll buy it. Yeah, one game. I'll agree. Anyone can win one game. That's the beauty of chess. Anyone can win one game. Play a perfect game, the best game of their life, and their opponent can make a blunder, mistake. Anyone can win any game, right? And that's why, by the way, Victor, adoption matches are so much fun. All right? Adoption matches, because you have to win 10 in a row. And that's hard for anyone to do against any level. Against any level. Mouse slips, blunders, time troubles. There's so many factors that can make you lose a game and still be the better player overall. So adoption matches are not only fun, but they're exciting and they're very hard to achieve. I know, I adopted my brother. And it's amazing because he had me one game. He had me dead to rights and he missed the move and I blundered and he missed it. Otherwise, I would have lost the adoption match. But I got lucky. I won the adoption match and so I adopted him. It was cool. All right, so let's see what goes on here. Just a lot of rearranging of the pieces. So far the 1400 at this stage is doing great. The 1400 won back the pawn. 1400 is up a pawn, but we know he's going to lose it in the end game because he loses this game. Might have lost on time, folks. He was very short on time. So he used a lot of time to try to get here, and you know how that can be. And there we go. We have a blunder. Folks, we have a blunder by white under time trouble, though. Okay? Good for you, Ratchet. Did they know you were trying to adopt them? All right, guys. So 1400s had troubles with even free candy. Even with free candy, with miscounts. But actually it was funny because it was the 1700 that miscount. It's only here with time trouble. So I'm going to put that down. I'm going to put all of this down to time management. Because if he could have played with better time management, he might have done better. So that was time management. Time management killed him. And then because of time management, right? Because of time management, he gave away free candy. So it's still a factor of free candy, but I think it's time management. If he was playing a much slower game, his rating will probably be higher than 1400. Very interesting, guys. All right. I think that was, we can look at one or two more. Here's one between the 1400 And he was 1402 at the time, playing a 1401. How's this? Let's look at two 1400 rated players. And you notice White kind of knows what opening he's playing. I'm not saying it's a good or bad opening, but he gets his setup, and they both play decently through the opening. Neither one has any glaring mistakes in the opening. And so this is where, again, it's hard to know, but opening principle-wise, we just saw here, if I'm not mistaken, White give away free candy. So that's a miscount with free candy. And remember that bishop was out of the game. It was stuck out of the game, and now we've let that bishop have life. So it's interesting. We take here, yeah, why not, right? Knight's still hanging, but so is the queen. So, wow. So queen takes, I would presume, yes, finds that. And again, look, now White gave away free candy. Remember the pawn. White gave away free candy, and now Black's giving away free candy. There are two pieces attacking the square and only one protecting. So, yes, 1400s, free candy. I think 1400s still give away free candy. King, do you see what I see? King, are you reading well? King, are you see what's happened? Yes, Ratchet. Yes. Don't ask why, Ratchet. Do not ask. It's not your business. We don't want to go there. We do not want to go there, but I do have all faith that if Sudoku bans you, you deserve to be banned. You deserve it. Now, King didn't do anything to get banned on my channel, so he's still here. But Sudoku says chest lifted the ban. Lifted the ban. Hey, King, you should be happy. Yeah, King. You're welcome. I didn't do much. All I did was make a recommendation that you and based on your behavior here, King. Based on your behavior here, I thought, I just gave a little bit of testimony for you. That's all. Just witness for you a little bit. I don't want to know, where'd you get banned? You didn't get banned on my stream yet. No, you didn't get banned on my stream. So we see that Black just gave away free candy, guys. So it happens, but it happens a lot at the beginner level. And here we go. We lost a pawn also. And time-wise, they both have a lot of time. So it's not a factor of time per se. And here we go, giving away more free candy. Oh my goodness. Not that he had any choice, because now his queen is stuck. Right? He has no moves for his queen. So he took what he could get. So we know that was the best choice, but yeah, I mean, it's still free candy. So 1400. You said hilarious, so you got banned. Okay. Well, you won't get banned for here. I won't ask you whose channel you got banned on. Not that we don't want to promote other people, but I don't know that that's very useful. So we're going to say 1400. I'm going to say 1500, right? So it's like 1400 plus. Still not understanding free candy. Wow, guys. Wow. Because if that's true, in elite chess anyway, I know people that are not even 1,000 yet. So it depends on how badly you don't understand free candy. But free candy seems to be the only problem with Big Herb and Chris in this game. And if they both got free candy in their head correctly, they do well. Now, here's a surprise. Here's a surprise, guys. Big Herb wins this game. This is how Big Herb actually qualified last for a first round in May. First round in May, he qualified. Well, that's a silly reason to get banned, King, unless you were belligerent and kept saying it. So, let's not talk about people that ban you for silly reasons. Let's stay positive, and because we're not those people. We don't do that to you. Right? Alright, so here Big Herb is playing against a 1673 young man that I have faith in is getting pretty good. And Big Herb won. And we know he's 1400 because he gave away free candy a moment ago. So again, this all looks solid. I'm going to assume, look at this, White gave away free candy. White is 1673, and he gave away free candy. So he moved the knight, he moved the queen. He moved both defenders away and gave away free candy. And then we're going to be able to take a piece, so free candy is just going to stay free candy. So it's interesting, right? It's interesting that, and I think that's a blunder, but he's giving away free candy. So this is even at 1673, he's giving away free candy. And Bigger played very well. And I don't understand that trade. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't see that reason for that trade. Just don't see it. That bishop has no squares. Why not start pushing at the bishop and making bury his bishop? I'd probably want to do that. But anyway. And that's, what was that? Oh, it's a bishop. Okay, it's a trade. But, let's see. Okay, alright. And then I think, White's going to get into trouble mostly because of this open file. I've been there, done it, just recently. And it's a pawn rush, and it's checkmate. So yeah, blunder, checkmate. Right, so it was free candy, but mostly for the 1673, he missed the basic checkmate or the threat of checkmate. So I don't know where we have that one. Because identifying threats should be a basic. Now, we do have that as part of this, right? Because it's checks, captures, attacks, and I like to say threats first. Actually, that's under Gotham chess rules. So 1673 is right here. He did not identify threats. I'd say he did not identify threats well enough. So that could be part of the Gotham chess rules. Analyze position. And we're going to make this one include the threats as a big part of it, right? Because I think that's what that is. I think that's not noticing that you're about to get killed. Nah. Let's delete these cells and shift it back up. All right. So yeah, I would say because that's down to like that was Jim. This does feel like 1600 territory, guys. 16 to 1700 seems to fit right in there. Interesting, very, very interesting. And remember, it's not always that you're going to win or lose because you're low or high rated. So it's totally based on the situation sometimes. And it does depend on the player, King, yes. But I want generals, right? Yes, sometimes, right? It'll factor or not. Understand. And it'll depend on each player. Understand. But we do want to see if there's a basic rule or a tenet that we can use. Right? If there's and the reason why I want to do this is not so I can place you in a position because of your rating, but to understand that, hey, King, what's your rating, King? Let's look at King. You were in the first tournament, King, weren't you? You're in the first. Here you go, King. So at the time, King, before you bounced over 1800, you were 1728. And so if I were giving you a lesson, besides the fact that I like to look at 3 of your last games, losses preferably because I'm looking for ways to help you improve, and your wins may only point out that your opponent made bad moves, right? So I want to look at your losses normally. I could look at your 3 games like I do and analyze them and find ways to help you we look for a principle. I like to look for a specific principle or technique or a concept, a principle or a concept for you to work on. That's how I like to teach. I go through your game, I look for your weaknesses, identify maybe a principle and or concept that you need to work on, either in understanding it or applying it. And remember, you can't apply it, well, most times you can't apply it if you don't understand it, at least at the root. So it's, when I teach it, I would make sure you understand it. Then we work on giving you exercises to help you practice applying it. But I just thought it would be very useful to get an idea of the order of teaching and for that plateau we talked about. So we know things like Chill Comment might say, I'm stuck at 1,000 or 1,100 and I want to make 1,200 chess.com. How do I get there? And we could go through this list and say, self-assess yourself. Do you understand it? Do you apply it? And if we find that he understands, and like say these are all yeses, but then when we get down here to apply it, let's say these are no's, right? So let's say he doesn't apply these. And we say, okay, all right, let's work on these, helping you apply these. And not only help you working on applying them, but we've bolded these two. Why? Because we believe they are the critical ones to get you over that next plateau. While all of this is important, you need to do them all. But maybe we'll spend more time on these. Maybe we'll just say, let's get this one down pat first, then we'll add this one. Maybe we'll jump around and do tactics first. We definitely could do endgames while you're doing tactics because they're two different brain functions almost. Okay? Makes sense? No one's perfect, Victor. I agree. And I think I could work with you. Definitely. But, a lot of times where, in your case, Victor, and in Ratchet's case, a lot of times I don't think I'd be telling you things that you don't know. I don't think I'd be showing you something that you go, oh my goodness, I never knew what that was. Thank you. You've opened my eyes. No. But what we might look at is what aren't you applying? And how can we help you to get better yourself at applying it more? Yeah, that'd be great. Oh, yeah, you're funny. Okay. I would say he probably forgot more of this than we know, right? He's already forgotten more about chess than we have a clue of. But, you think about what they know. I mean, they live and breathe chess all the time. Most of us have jobs, families, school. I know a lot of you guys have school, right, Brandon? And we got school. So I know we can't put 100% of our time into this like maybe some others can because it's their livelihood. So if you can't put every moment into it, we want to find the quickest, simplest ways to help you improve. While if you were doing nothing but this, then you can get this. You can get that done on your own. Yeah, right, King. Okay. Yes, Ratchet, he should. He should, and I would pay him. Depending on how much he charges, I'd probably pay him. It totally depends on how much he charges, though. So that's the reason, King. I'm doing this study, and I'm looking at the bold as being critical pieces. I know when I start with beginners, their biggest problem is free candy. If I can get them to stop giving away as much free candy and taking it when it's offered. So they have to be able to identify free candy of their own and of their opponents, take advantage when it's offered, and not give it away themselves. They usually jump in rating. I think the Chill Comment should get up to 1,200 chess.com by chess not ever giving away free candy. My brother LLNP, he's up in the 1566 right now. He's probably going to get to 1,1700 pretty easily. He rarely gives away free candy anymore. Rarely. He still does, but rarely. All right. Piece values is not a critical part for me, but development. And not only understanding development as a critical factor, but understand that you want to do it faster than your opponent. And then, of course, you need basic tactics to take advantage of that development. But king safety. Regardless of what Sudoku tells you guys, king safety is important. Now, that doesn't mean castling. You do not have to castle to put your king in safety. And sometimes, like a game I played the other day, you guys watched, you could castle into an attack. So castling sometimes is the opposite of king safety. But in general, you would castle early or often. But yeah, you can only do it once per game. I know. But yeah, king safety is important. And that king safety goes into this analyzing a position, especially threats. And by the way, if you remember, we're right now... Gotham Chess says checks, captures, attacks, threats. I always say let's start with the threat. And why do I start with the threat? Because you're not actually starting with the threat. You're starting with why did my opponent do that? right? What is the purpose of the move? Like, why do you develop here? Right? Why do you develop here? Why do you go here? So you need to understand the purpose behind the moves. And the purpose behind the moves, to me, is the equivalent of checking threats. So you have to know what they're doing, why they did it. That should be your first step, so that you don't fall into one move mates, two move mates. You don't lose pieces. You don't lose free candy because of tactics, because you're not paying attention to the threats. That's me. If you're playing bullet, then maybe look for checks, captures in that order. And you don't have time to even look at threats. I don't know. Your call on that, guys. So yeah, this is my tool for that purpose, if that makes sense. Alright? Enough talk for tonight? We can play some games maybe? Oh man, I need to play some games. Let me see. I'm doing my aim chess study here, the weekly personalized plan. I still have to do 10 intuition trainers. I have 2 more rapid games to play and 2 class. One more. Only have 1 classic game to play. So 2 rapid. Maybe I'll go find a rapid game. Yeah, probably does. I agree. Yeah. Anyway, so I can look for a rapid game. If one of you guys want to play a rapid game, I'll do that. But it has to be rapid. I need 2 rapids for my weekly study. So, I know King usually likes to play. I know some of you guys might like to play. And yeah, I don't care. Anybody wants to, we could do that. Alright, I don't see any challenges. I'll go out and hunt one up and probably play, hopefully well, not lousy. Oh, 17, I agree, but I'm just surprised you're giving 1750 an expert rating. I know 1800 that don't know basic endgames. So I don't think of even an 1800 as an expert, at least not the way we use the word expert. So we also have Club A players, Club B players, Club C players, Club D players. Yeah, it's just, the word, it's language, Victor. I'm pretty sure it's language, because for me, when I think of expert, again, I have a rating in mind for expert. That was interesting. I maybe saw that I was streaming. I forget that people could see that I'm streaming. I forget that people can see that I'm streaming, and maybe he decided, I don't want to be on stream. The other thing I've done is go into these. So like, here's a rapid 10 plus O arena, and I could just go grab 2 games out of a 10 plus O. 10 plus O, I need usually 10 plus 5, but I can do it. I mean, if I don't have anybody that's challenging, so. I do play D4 only because I was teaching. Yeah, I did the lobby. They boarded the game. They didn't want to play. I'll just join the arena for a couple of games. I only need 2 games. And 10 plus O will make it harder because I won't be able to... Oh, and he berserks on me too. Oh, that's because he's a 24-17. Oh, wow, that'll be fun. Didn't know that. Bada bing, bada boom. He berserked. I didn't. Yes, I know this trick. I know this trick, guys. I know this trick. I showed my brother this trick, and I'm playing too fast. So that's frustrating already, because I know this trick. I shouldn't have fallen for this trick. That's quite frustrating. That's all I'm going to say. That's frustrating. Because I know that trick, and I just fell for something I know. Very frustrating. Very frustrating. Oh, does it? Yeah, but I know that. It's like, I know that. Why'd I do that when I know that situation? Alright, I don't like that after all these takes. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like any of this. I don't like this game right now, but... I can't castle because the knight's going to come here. Yeah, why not? It's just be given... Oh, no, actually, wouldn't chess be given away? No. Let's go there anyway. Terrible, terrible. But I knew that. I swear I knew that. I knew that, and I blew it. Let's go that way. Yeah, this game is effectively over, mis amigos. We're gonna pin, maybe? No, let's just go after the free candy. Okay, I don't want to play this game anymore, guys. I don't like where it went. I don't like where it's at. Maybe I'll get another game. That was ugly. Yeah, I agree. That was just ugly. I usually don't resign games, but I played too fast and walked into... I knew the pawn draw. I do that all the time. I teach that myself as a trap in the French, and I fell for it. Dummy me. I know that. I know that. That's frustrating. Okay, here's your 1764, Victor. Here's your 1764. Not 1750, no. 1764. He's higher. Isn't that better? I think higher would be better, wouldn't it? I think higher would be better. Okay, go away. Yes. Oh, yeah. Ratchet. Different animal. I thought we were talking about a different animal. I thought we were talking about 1750 on Lichess. Yes, on chess.com, much higher. Much stronger. No doubt in my mind. No doubt about it. Alright, let's go ahead and castle after all. My opponent is not developing as quickly as I think he should have. Could have, would have. So we'll just keep pressing on and see what happens. Oh, thank you. There you go. All I have to do is ask and you shall receive. Yeah, sorry. Sorry. Lo siento, mis amigos. Lo siento, mis amigos. That was just a blunder on my part. Sorry about that. A blunder on my part. Expecting castle and queenside. We can start having fun. Maybe. Do the Sudoku shuffle. No, kingside! Kingside castle. Totally took me unawares. Totally took me unawares. Totally took me unawares. Totally unexpected. Oh yeah, I agree, Victor. Well, actually, I never rush. I try never to rush. That's why I don't play bullet. That's why I don't play bullet. Although I did rush the last game, and Victor would, as he should. I think I should. If I'm playing as well as I can, I should be crushing this rating myself. Expected, and now I'm expecting possibilities over here. So that's why I'm thinking we're going to go here. I was trying to pushing the pawn, but not too greatly. Just a little toy. Just a little toying with it. All right, we could take back, take here, check. King has to go there, and so that would be a mate. I think that would be a mate if he takes. So if he doesn't take, I get the free piece. So free bishop or mate. I like that. I like that. Thank you, Ratchet. You ever see those commercials for the credit card where you call up for help and yes, sorry, and it's a guy, but he's doing a very feminine voice. Not very feminine. Sorry, but we can't help you. And it's one of the football coaches, Lou Holtz. I should know that one, being from Notre Dame. And he goes, and Lou Holtz tells him, "No, you can do this. You can make this happen." And the guy goes, "You inspire me." So there you go. We got the free piece. You can't stop it. Now we could go here, so that if he takes, we just take back. But then he gets to check in here. Then we'd have to come back. A lot of stuff we don't really want to bother with. So let me think again. We go here. He takes. We take. Queen comes here with check. Well, I almost misclicked. That would be bad. Anyway, so the bishop could come back and block if we want to. And the queen would be sitting here, but why would we want that? I don't want to give away anything, guys. I'm not giving away anything. So let me think. We can still just take with check. What am I thinking? Take with check. If he takes back, it's still checkmate. Okay, why I'm not seeing that faster, I have no idea. But I'm thinking I'm just going to take with check. Yeah, no suggestion. Don't help me. Oh, I saw it. I didn't even see your notes. See, it doesn't matter. You guys, even if you make suggestions, I just don't look at you anyway. I just don't look. Seriously, I don't look at chat. I'm playing the game, and I only look at chat afterwards. But yes, I like it. Yeah, and so it's funny. I knew it was checkmate if he takes, right? So that's one of those. So now I can drop out of the tournament because I don't care. I was just doing it. Hey, Ratchet! I'd love to play you, Ratchet. But I shouldn't have said yes, only because I don't need a 10+5 anymore, because now that was my second game. But it's casual, so I don't care. Alright, now I made a mistake on this the other day. What was the mistake? I think I made the mistake of this. Because then there's this, and then there's this. So that was what was wrong. Okay. I got to make sure I remember the correct order of things. Like Ratchet was saying about knowing openings, that was just a blunder I did the other day, which I can't afford to do. I can't afford. Yeah, Ratchet, you saw it instantly. That's because you're very good at tactics. Now, I will say I didn't see it instantly. I did see the bishop pretty quickly. I saw that I could take the bishop, and if he takes back, it's mate. But then when he didn't take and he moved the rook over, for whatever reason, I didn't think about the fact that, hey, the same situation basically applies, right? I didn't think that way. So I needed to. Now, this reminds me of a game we watched the other day. And I could do the queen and try to trade off with Ratchet. But I like doing the bishop to try to keep tactics allowed. So let's do it here too. We're going to try it here, just to try to not simplify the game when I'm down material. Just a thought. Yeah, I'm glad you saw it instantly though, because you do my heart good. Okay, I'm not crazy about this square, but I want to be aggressive. Not crazy about that square. Right, you could go there, then get to that square and all that jazz. All that jazz. That was a good play movie. I really liked all that jazz, now that I'm thinking about it. Alright, do I want a castle? He still gets here. We still get some issues. You know what? We're going to have some fun. We're going to do it.
Yeah, I'm going to watch
Oh,
you.
you can watch me, honey. I've been showing off the blanket you gave me. My backdrop blanket. My backdrop blanket, as they say. Hmm. 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 My backdrop blanket. My backdrop blanket. I don't know. I like it. I like my backdrop blanket so much I keep saying it. My wife said, "Why do you keep saying it?" Actually, because I'm thinking while I'm playing chess, and so I do poorly at talking, so like my thoughts. And I don't know. I think Ratchet's listening. I don't want Ratchet listening in. It's not nice. Me think if Ratchet be thinking listening in. Okay, so that's annoying in multiple tactical reasons. Think. Feel like Winnie the Pooh. Think. Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh, Pooh, Winnie the Pooh. Ah, me aching back, he says. All right, ready. Let's see. Meantime, so this I can renew, and you'll see it'll update. You can't see the Rapid Games on the screen so well. See, it says Rapid Games. I needed 8. I had 8 out of 10. I should have now 10 out of 10. And I have 1 classic game to go. So that's what I got to do, guys. I got to get those games finished, and I will be done. Now that's interessante. Should have known he'd have something sneaky up his sleeve. Tough stuff, guys. Tough stuff. Good games. Ratchet's a good player. What's his rating? Ratchet's up. Ratchet. Oh, he's not higher than me at this. Oh, I figured Ratchet would be higher rated than me. I just assumed. You know what assuming does, right? Yeah, you should know what assuming does. Let me think. Check there. Do we care? How much do I care? I got better moves. Don't have to react to the take. Don't react first to the take. Look around. See what else you get. There we go. So first I checked out some threats. I didn't like if I take here. I didn't like if I take the H, just takes back. And then I looked for checks. And the fact that I could push him away. Bada bing! Hey, good game. Good game! So I actually have a sound effect for good game. I have a great idea for good games, but I haven't been able to use it yet. Yeah, redeem. Good game, Ratchet. Thanks. Hey. Card Jam? No, I haven't. Thanks, Ratchet. Thanks. I don't know about Card Jam. I'll have to check it out. Is it Cat Jam? Cat Jam. I have my own cat right here. I have my chess cat. Does that count? Alright, so we've gotten the games done that I needed to get done. I do need to do one classic game left, and I have to do the Intuition Trainer. Just 10 of those, and I have until... Oh, I got 2 days. I'm ahead of schedule. I am ahead of schedule, guys. That's awesome. Thank you so much for the help. That one game against the 24-4-7, wow, I got crushed quick. And mostly because I was probably too upset at myself for giving away that pawn that I knew better. Oh, you were just joking. Oh, okay. Cool beans, guys. Any other games? I need one classical. I'll just do that later. Not fun for streaming usually. Not fun for streaming. Hourly Rapid Arena. We paused out of that one. We left that one. We withdrew from that one. So one of the things I do recommend people do, and let me put this on full screen for a quick sec. So one of the things I recommend you do is after your game, is to go over here and use the hamburger in this and put them into a study. So I'm putting all the games I played in trying to get for my aim chess, right? So I'm putting those all into a study so I can look at them later and review them and learn from them. But I throw them into a study because I'm doing these in June under this test. So I got to throw these all into there. June, and I got to throw in the bad one too. Unfortunately, I got to throw in the murderer's row I fell into there when I got destroyed by whoever that was. I have no idea who even that was. I just fell apart when I made that silly mistake. And somehow at 24-47, I lost 4 points for that, and he gained 2. I think he should have gotten 4 points, but he did. I can't begrudge him his points. So let's see. That should be Fier should be my last game that I did. I just want to make sure I got them all in my study so far. So Fier, no, Civil. Oh, that game never played. That was the one that got aborted. Coin toss did not. I did not put my coin toss in there, guys. I can show you that game. I played some games today. That's what it was. I did not get the games in from today. So I need to go back to Fier. I need to go as far back as Fier and stick them all in there so I can analyze them later. So that was coin toss. This one I didn't have in there. I don't remember if I won or lost. I think I won that one. Yeah, I think I won that one. Alright. That was Zemirsk. Yes. Nope. Let's open this one in a new tab so I don't have to keep going back so hard. Makes it a lot faster. Throw that into June. Click kill that one. Come back here. So that was Red Parrot, I believe I just did. Yeah, that was Red Parrot. And this one I did not have. I gotta do this one too. Open in a new tab. I am still shocked at how many people resign games that actually have a lot of life in them left. Not like the game where I was getting killed. I don't think there was any life. I don't think there was any life left in that game. Somebody might prove me wrong. And here's the flyer. So this is the last game I missed. I'll get that one put in there. And I'll have all my games in there for June. Cool beans. Oh, it's 2:30 a.m. in England or in the UK? Yeah, I thought so too. You want to go over that game? I don't mind. I like going over games with you, Ratchet. And you played, so it's, nothing wrong going over the games. Let's go to my study, because I just bounced out of my study, sorry. Where's June? Oh, it's under public studies. I didn't even know I put it under public studies. Probably shouldn't. There's no reason to make it public, but I did. Okay, let's see. Ratchet. Where are you, Ratchet? There you go. They're not in the actual order played, so that might be a problem. So, you know me, I don't look at computer analysis. Yeah, the other day it was funny. I was telling my brother how to play this opening. I said, hey, just take here. And of course he got destroyed after this. And so that's how I've remembered it just now. All I have to do is say, okay, if I take here, I know this is the move I should be worried about. I know that. And I was like, yep, that would be bad. So then I knew which pawn to take. That helped. And so I figured Sudakus would like this because we're playing the King's Gambit. Now, he knows it better than I do. So again, knowing openings, he should be able to tell me what I'm doing better than I am. I agree. That being down a rook, I buy that. Depending on who you're playing and the situation. I was in an arena tournament. Totally think it's acceptable. So yeah, we went with the bishop instead of with the queen because, you know, why give you anything? This is the pawn move I think you're supposed to make, but of course you have to do it at the right time. But anyway, so I was happy. I was actually happy. I saw all of this when I moved the knight. I saw this, I saw that, I saw that, I saw that. So I saw all of this up to this point when I put the knight here. So I was happy about that. Oh, I agree, Ratchet. No, I didn't mean you. I wasn't talking about you resigning the game. I'm talking about, I could show you some games. I played some games for the purpose of playing my games, and the people would be so close. The game was close. And I'd be up like a bishop, and they resign. Oh, what are you going to show it to me, Sudakus? Ooh, okay. You know I want to see that. Okay, is it here? Okay, so this part I think I played correctly, correct? I played this right? So now what, Sudakus? Mi amigo. After the queen check, okay? After this queen check, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Move king to F. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Ho, 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 ho. Okay, how does that win the queen? Show me more. Show me more. What happens next? What happens next? I like it. I like it. I like learning new moves. I like the bishop move because it didn't. I like not trading queens, but show me what to do. Bishop goes to b5 normally? Okay. So I feel confident if the bishop goes to c5, we just chase the bishop away, right? So that's not good for him. But at bishop to b5, which seems like a natural move. White does b5. White does bishop to b5, but it's not white's move. So let's go back. I'm saying, what does black normally do here? So you're saying we get this move in either here or here, and then we get the rook move in, which of course on the check, if black sees all that, he could move his king. Or he could put his bishop here now, or he could put his knight there now. I think all those keep from losing the queen, don't they? Yeah. Yeah, but it's black's move, so I'm just like, what does black do? What's the normal move for black in this situation? Let's check the opening database. So the opening database says that now knight to f6 is the most common move. That's the most common move. And then bishop to b5 check, what you called. They play c6. And then you play the rook to e1. And then they're done. Ta-da! There you go. Nicely, nice. I love the opening database, guys. All right, so king to f2, and your idea is to get that, get the king developed as, get the bishop out, and then depending on what they do, you get to win the queen. Nice. Depending on what, it depends on what they do. Now, I would say, of course, if they are good enough to realize and just move their king out of the way, you no longer win the queen, right? Well, actually, here you still do, because that's mate. That's still mate, guys. That's beautiful. All right, and if the king goes here, you're still threatening mate with the rook. Oh, that's just too pretty. That's just too pretty. That's still mate even this way. So moving the king doesn't work. Let's see. So that's if you allow the check, you're done for. So you can't allow the check. So, other moves might be, I'm going to devote I'm going to save my situation. And then so this check would be where you ostensibly don't lose your queen. Right? But they have to see that. I don't know where he's going to go. I was just placing him. So he has to see, and that doesn't even look so good, because now the knight gets to come here and attack him. Oh, but the knight is protecting still. Anyway, fun game. But yeah, that would be a nice trap. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Ratchet. Bishop to e7. But that's if black knows the lines, right? So let's go back to our opening database for fun. And so let's say right here, what is the most common move? Queen to d8 is the most common move. Queen to e6 check is played a lot. Second most common move. And then the most common move is what I did. Wow, I did the most common move. Bishop to e2. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. I did the most common move. Let me move this over for you guys. Yeah, I did the most common move. Bishop to e2. In fact, I can move it all the way over, like, I'm in the way. Okay, anyway, I did the most common move with bishop to e2. King to f2 is the second most common move, played 1,400 times on Lichess. Bishop to e2 is played 5,000 plus times. So king to e2 is played the most common. Knight to f6 then. Bishop to b5 check. c6, rook to e1, and game over. And white won the majority of the time by far, but sometimes white didn't win, believe it or not. White didn't win like one time. Oh, that's funny. Anyway, but yeah, so there you go. Let's see. So the most common move of knight to f6 seems to lose. Why? It makes you wonder, right? 411 times. So Sudakus, have this trap in your pocket when you go to Vegas for sure, my friend, because that move happens the majority of the time. And then by far, bishop to b5 is next. Bishop to d3 has won one time they played it. h4 has won the one time they played it. But of course, this is like forcing so many nice things. I don't even know why there'd be any other choice. Don't even know. So knight to f6 is the most common move. The next most common move is bishop to c5. The next most common move is knight to c6. Now that one, that actually stops the check. Right? So it stops the forcingness of it. Now you could still go ahead and pin him and say, what are you going to do? Because if he breaks the pin, you still win the queen, right? I think, yeah, you still win the queen. So if he breaks the pin, you win the queen. If he puts the knight here, you win the queen. If he puts the bishop here, is the only way he doesn't win the queen. And then you still can go here and cause him a lot of headaches with weaknesses. So this move of king to f2 is sweet. Sweet. Let's just go through one little variation I want to check. If he goes here, I don't want to push the pawn, although I think you can, right? You could just push the pawn, because the knight can take. But you almost you have to, I guess you don't have to take with check. But if you don't, you're going to lose material. So take with check, take back. If the knight takes, you just take the queen. And you don't even have to take the queen first. You can take the bishop and then take the queen. Okay, so yeah, you still win. Still win. So yeah, this is sweet. I'd say this was a good variation. And no, my friend, very good. Very good. All right, I'm impressed. Thank you, guys. That was very useful. I learned something new, and I got it in my study, so I can work on it a little bit. I like the king to f2. I will say I like the king to f2. Me, I didn't know that move, so I played the move that was only 58% win rate versus this one, which is a 73% win rate. 73% win rate. Say that 4 times fast. Yeah, it's a nice trap line. And I should note it if I'm going to play the King's Gambit, which I do. Oh yeah, Engine likes black still, and I can see that if you know, maybe you come here first, right? Maybe you do this. Maybe you have to do other things because we know the natural moves, as Ian Rosen would say, Eric Rosen, the natural moves kind of fail. You just did, Ratchet. What do you mean you don't play it? And Victor says flat out, King F2 is a bad move. Yes, and maybe at the higher levels it is. I can't argue. Let's see. We are doing 2,000, 2,300, and 2,500 Blitz, Rapid, and Classical, and we have Bishop to King to F2 is the second most popular move. So the question is, how do you take advantage of it, right? Even way down here, Bishop to D7 doesn't dominate. Bishop to D7 move. So that move, Bishop to D7, it's got 15 moves, 15 games, and White still wins 1/3 of the time. Yeah, I know, Ratchet. I was messing with you. Some people think that it only counts for one side, but I like to say you played the King's Gambit because you played into, right? You played the King's Gambit, but as black. Queen to H6. Ooh, is that the move we should be doing at that point? So here it says Queen to H6. How's this for you, Victor? It's not even in the opening database. No one's played Queen to H6. Now, do you mean B6? Because the computer... No, I don't know. B6 has been played. H6 has not been played even once. Yeah, Queen to H6 has not been played even once. Okay. I'm not going to argue. I feel like arguing about engines is like arguing about chess.com versus Lee Chess, like arguing about politics and religion, and it's I don't know that it gets us anywhere. I like the database because I like to see what humans play and what they play most often, because it gives you an idea of what you'll run into and what you might be able to take advantage of. But if I'm trying to find the best moves, then of course you're going to want to look at the engine. But if the engine's making moves that humans don't ever make, then then I don't get as excited about it. So it says that here the best move for white is queen to here, and black is a little bit better, 0.1 better in this situation. 0.1 better. Says that's the next move. Queen comes back again. Said, and then this is the best move again. And this seems like a very unexciting game, guys. But it's totally equal, too. So it makes you wonder, does the computer just play for equality? Oh, I love this. I'm developing like crazy. So this is what the computer says to play. So you guys tell me, anybody ever going to play like this? Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. Now that's just fascinating. I asked it for the best move, and it changed its mind. It's changed its mind. It's still changing its mind. If I wait long enough, it'll come up. Okay? So it's changing its mind. It says here or it says here. It can't make up its mind. And I can see playing this one if I was white. I don't think I'd find this one yet. Not at my stage of understanding. What depth are we at? 30 out of 99, it says. 31 out of 99 now. Oh, that's funny. So is bishop to e2 better based on the computer? So I did a better move? Woohoo! That makes me feel good in some weird way. That makes me feel good in some weird way. All right, guys. All right. Let's see. It's Friday. Who do we want to raid? Who's on? Who's on? Is Thinker Teacher still on? Thinker Teacher went offline, didn't raid us. That's okay. He just does sometimes. I love getting his students that were watching him because they're all about learning. And let's see. Keely, who was in our Mayhem tournament, is chess chatting. So I'm looking for chess players. And we've gone to GM Ashley before, and he has 529. I'd love one of Flavio's specials. Oh, no. Thank you, Victor. Thank you. You make me feel better that bishop to e2 was the right move. Thank you. And not only was it the right move, but I still learned a little trappy move to throw in, right? I mean, that's part of the fun to me is you can find somebody you can find some other moves that maybe aren't as solid, but you can mix it up, right? So it's nice. So, Sudakus, thank you for the recommendation, but you're right, he's not doing chess. Not doing chess. Let's browse. Let's go to chess. I'm waiting for a Flavio special. Flavio's always the best at giving us names to do it. We could do these people with only one view and just shock them. But I got to watch them for a little bit because, I have youth watching and I don't like going to channels where they have filthy language. So I would rather I love the one viewers though. We might find a new person to follow. Let's see. See, this one looks cute. This, you can't, you can see it, but there's a dog in the picture. My only fear is that he might be, not clean language for us. Flavio's sleeping. Good move, Flavio. Let's see. I'm looking at the ones that are recommended, but the ones that are recommended are all more viewers than we have here right now. I want to find somebody new. I want to find someone new to become friends with. I don't know what this person does. They don't seem to be playing yet. Let's open it up and see.
What to do left? Can't see.
Doing puzzles. Maybe she's clean. No cursing. I haven't heard anything yet.
Wait 1 minute. There are people in the hallways and they're yelling.
Seems to be people in the hallways are yelling, but
They sound really drunk.
sounds like she doesn't like people being drunk in the hallway. Do you, Bolt? Hey, Bolt, how you doing? Oh, you're offline though, buddy. You do. Yeah, if you curse too much, I'm gonna have to stop. I'm gonna have to stop it. I'm gonna have to stop. I'm gonna have to stop rating you because if you're cursing too much. Okay, we're gonna try this one. Whoever she is, Jerpuff. We're gonna raid Jerpuff and hopefully make her day because she probably doesn't get too many raids of 5, 6 of us. That'd be fun. All right, Monday. Hey, the tournament's Tuesday though. The tournament's Tuesday. I'll see you guys later. Hopefully tomorrow night. I need someone to do hand and brain with me. I do need a hand and brain. Bolt, are you available tomorrow night? guys, talk to me later. Let me know what's going on. Talk to you later. Yes, Tuesday, Bolt. Be there, man. Be there.
And don't party.
All right, I'll see you later.
Chelsea